So I'm checking back in. I'm on day 12. I am feeling better overall, and I mean, not completely better. I'm still having issues and, adjusting, and it's been a lot more than I realized. It's been a lot harder than I realized that it would be. But I'm doing better than I was originally. So this is going to be my day 1 through 12. Today is currently day 12. I'm counting day 1 as extraction day, so I'm 11 days post extraction. And I am going to go through a little bit of what I covered in my first video about this, and then explain my experience in these last 12 days. So this picture is a picture of me when I was 20 years old, right before my front tooth fell out, and then I had to have crowns and a bunch of work done at the time. I just wanted to include this in here to show before I had work done, and then I'm going to show the next picture, which is right before my surgery. So this is my last picture before my surgery. And I had someone ask how my teeth got to the point that they did. Some of it was genetic, some of it was care as a child, care as an adult. I also had periodontal disease, so it was just a bad mixture that came all together and made it to where my teeth were falling out by the time I was 20. So I had someone ask about how my teeth, if some of my teeth were root canal treated. So the front two that were crowns were root canal treated, but the dentist wanted to take out the front 4 and put in a partial denture. In the original video I said it had to be redone, but I just meant more work had to be done, even though I already had work done. They wanted to put in a partial denture, and then I had to do all the other work, which would have been over $20,000. So the ones in the back that were broken were not root canal treated, but if I wanted to keep them or try to fix them, they would have had to have been. So I want to take a minute to talk about extraction day first. I went in to my appointment at 9 a.m. and they took impressions of my teeth, and then I left there and went to pick up my prescriptions, which they had told me to take the sedative 1 hour before my appointment, so that would have been 12 p.m. And then I went back at 1 p.m. and I was still really, really nervous, so they gave me something else. And they had told me beforehand that if the sedatives they gave me weren't enough, they would have something else for me there. So I was really nervous for this day, and I had a lot of anxiety about the sedatives, about the process, but overall it went really well and really smoothly. The sedatives really helped a lot with my nerves. By the time I got there, I was still nervous, and I did take the extra sedative, and by the time they did the first couple, really, I was pretty out of it. I remembered them doing the shots, and then I remember hearing the first couple teeth being pulled. To me, the noise sounded like if you're using pliers on something and they slip off and like they clink together. I actually thought they had missed or couldn't get the teeth out the first couple times I heard it. But then I heard them put the teeth on the table. So once I realized that was the noise that it was going to be, I kind of calmed down a lot. It really wasn't that bad. However, I was sedated. Teeth kind of give me the ick in general, so had I not been sedated, it may have bothered me more. But I felt like the noise wasn't too bad for me personally. I did wear headphones, but they fell out about halfway through. I really wasn't super worried about it because I was pretty out of it. I remember when they did the shots, and I remember the first couple teeth. And after that, I remember them kind of waking me up because I pretty much fallen asleep, or I was just really out of it. And they told me that the top was done. I took a selfie I don't really remember doing that, but I took a selfie and sent it to my boyfriend and told him the top was done. And then they did the bottom half. I didn't take a selfie while they were pulling, like they were taking a break and getting ready. They had to stop in the middle and give me a little bit because the bleeding was so bad from the top. I just bled a lot. And they had went and talked to my boyfriend and told him, about that. And they were giving me a minute to do before they did the bottom half. And then, thankfully, the sedatives kept me nice and calm through this whole process. They didn't tell me that. They just told me they were giving me time to rest. They didn't want to freak me out, I assume, because it wasn't a problem. It just needed a little extra time. But they did the bottom, and then I remember them waking me up again to tell me the bottom was done. I was still pretty out of it. I don't really even remember getting to the car. I know that they told my boyfriend, all the post-care instructions, and they gave him some paperwork, and I remember getting in the car, and I was in more pain at that point. I was hurting, I was feeling it, and I remember the dentures felt really bulky in my mouth, and they had said to keep gauze on it, so I had gauze in my mouth as well. To keep pressing gauze, and so I used all the gauze they gave me on the way home, and I took a pain pill as I was leaving, like they told me to do, and I used all the gauze on my way home. My boyfriend had to stop and grab a handful of napkins from a gas station because I didn't really have a choice. I was bleeding everywhere, and I just bled a little bit more than normal, to my understanding, but overall it went really well. And by the time we got home, I really don't even remember coming inside. I don't remember much of the rest of that night until about 4 a.m. when I woke up and started taking pictures. But honestly, the first few days were all pretty fuzzy. Throughout this video, I do have a couple of videos that I took on the 2nd day and the 5th day. I really don't remember taking those very much either. I was still on pain medications at this point. But overall, it went really well. So this is my day 2 picture, the first picture after my full extraction. I couldn't really include my day 1 picture, but this is in the first 24 hours. This is about 4 a.m., and I had my extraction started at about 1:30 p.m. the day prior. So this is day 2, or the first day after my extraction. This next picture was that morning. I took a shower because I woke up with blood all in my hair and drool all in my hair. And this was that next afternoon. So these are all still day 2. So today is day 2. And I'm approaching about 37 hours since having it done. I seem to have lost my voice. I read that can happen sometimes. I'm still learning to talk with my dentures in. And I will come back when my voice is back and give a full detail. But they look good. I'm still in a decent amount of pain, but if I keep up with my medicine, it seems to keep it at bay as long as I stay on top of the medicine. My face is pretty swollen, but hopefully it'll get better over the next few days. So this was day 3. This was the swelling. On this day, I actually started running a fever and had to call the dentist to get some different antibiotics and some steroids. On day 4, I had some bruising, but the swelling started to go down. On day 5, I was starting to feel a little bit better. At this point, I was still on a liquid diet. This next video is day 5. I am on day 5, feeling better mentally. My teeth look nice, my face is less swollen, but my bottom dentures are giving me a rough time.
today's Sunday, so I'm going to call tomorrow and see if it's possible at all to get them adjusted in the next couple days. My swelling went down on Saturday, but since Saturday, which really I haven't been able to eat up to this point, I've been drinking lots of Ensures, and I realized pretty early on I couldn't eat applesauce or really I couldn't eat anything but ice cream or broth and Ensures. And so everything like pasta, I can't chew it, it gets stuck underneath of my dentures. Applesauce gets stuck underneath of my dentures, even with the glue. So I tried to eat pasta a few days in a row, and it just made my mouth more sore. Right on my bottom denture is like unglued. And I glued it in this morning, but it just come unglued. I'm still using the powder glue that they recommended while I have stitches, but my bottom denture is giving me a rough time because on the inside, like, it didn't bother me until Saturday. It started bothering me, so yesterday, really. But I've noticed these last couple days it hurts to talk. It hurts to swallow my saliva. It hurts to do anything because I have really bad sores from where the dentures are rubbing. Like, so on the floor, like where my tongue sits, the dentures are like poking in there and rubbing, and like underneath of my gums and my where my tongue is. And I think it's just because the swelling went down, and so now there's all that extra room in my denture, and they're like pushed down further. So I'm gonna try to get that fixed and see if that helps, and if it helps with my eating. They look nice. Taking care of them hasn't been too hard. I mean, it's been at a stitch that like seems to have popped a little bit loose, but I read that's fine as long as it's not bleeding, and it's really not. So I am hoping to get them fixed and readjusted tomorrow or the next day. So far, so good. I just haven't eaten any solid food in about 5 days, because even mashed potatoes, it hurts to like just move my tongue around too much. So here's hoping I get to eat in the next couple days. This picture was taken on day 9.
So day 9 was the first day that I really got to eat and get full. I had some adjustments done, I believe, on day 7 and day 9. I know for sure I had them done on day 9. And then I went home and I made oven roasted squash and zucchini. I realized that I couldn't eat the skin, but I did take the skin off, and I could eat the middle. And so I ate as many as I could, and I was actually able to get full off of solid food that day, and that was a big accomplishment. I was starting to lose hope at that point that I would ever be able to eat again, but it's just been a long process. Day 10, I made a grilled cheese sandwich with the meltier cheese, the plastic wrapped cheese, while I was at work, and I dipped it in tomato soup, and I was able to eat that, and that felt really good. I came home that day and made another grilled cheese, but with normal cheese, and I could not eat that. I couldn't chew the cheese. So plastic wrapped cheese is a better option right now. I still can't chew normal sliced cheese. On day 10, I tried to eat jelly toast in the morning, and I was not able to eat that. The bread was too crunchy. I kind of had a feeling, but I keep trying, and I'm going to keep trying until I figure out how to eat other things. It's just going to take some practice. But then I ate a half a sweet potato for lunch, and I had my favorite soup for dinner. So that was yesterday. I made a version of chicken tortilla soup that my boyfriend's mom taught me. It's my favorite soup. I just left the chicken out. Hers is a little bit different than traditional. And it has like rotel and onions and tortillas and avocado. So a lot of soft things in the soup. And I added black beans instead of the chicken. Plus the other seasonings and sauce and whatnot. But I could not really eat the black beans very well. I regretted that decision. I'm still struggling with things that have skins on them, chewing those. But overall, it went pretty well. And I'm still having some pain right now. I need to go have an adjustment up here and down here again. Because this one, my bottom denture gets loose every time I chew. And it starts rubbing. And then the top one is just kind of like sharp up here a little bit. But I'm going to have some adjustments done this week and see if that helps with my eating. I am still learning to chew, so I'm trying to eat soft things like that soup. This morning I got up and I pureed some of it because I bought a little food processor. It's a tiny one. And I can chew it. However, because of the pain that I'm in, that I need to have adjustments done, I decided it would be better just to puree it so that I could try to eat. Overall, I think that I made a good decision. There have definitely been moments in this process so far where I've questioned my decision to do this, and it's not going to be easy still. It's not easy today. It won't be easy tomorrow, but I know that it will eventually get better because it's starting to get better now, and I'm almost to 2 weeks post-extraction. It's a long 2 weeks when it's a constant pain in your mouth or not being able to eat solid food. I have been supplementing with Ensure, even now that I'm eating, because I'm not eating very much. In the last 11 days, 11 days post-extraction, I have lost 5 pounds. But I'm not stressing about that too much. It's hard to not be able to eat. But I'm learning, and I think things will get better as time goes on, as they have been. It's just that I expected the process to go much quicker than it has. I don't think that I realized just how long of a process it's going to be to get my dentures comfortable, to learn to eat, and then I'm going to get my permanents and possibly have to, in a sense, start over. My gums are still getting used to the dentures. They're still healing from the extractions. They're definitely a different shape than they were when I got these, which is why I'm having to go get them adjusted. It's all part of the process, and I just didn't realize how much really goes into this. It's not as simple as take your teeth out, put some new ones in, and let your gums heal. I mean, it sounds simple, but there's just a lot more to it. I am having a rough time with spoons right now. I can eat off of like the really cheap flat ones, but any really curved spoon, plastic spoons, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But things are getting better, and I have a lot more hope now today that things will get better over time. It's just I'm gonna have to be patient and practice. So that's been my experience with extraction day through 12. From what they told me, it's different for everybody, but a lot of people take the first month as the hardest. But it's getting better, and I hope to have a good update in a couple of months or after I get my soft liners. So I will update then.